Hey, welcome to the Scoot on the YouTube channel. I'm Scoot. So today on the radio show on WWL, it really was one of those days where just a lot of people called and they were just so eager to just condemn what I was saying about the vaccine and just we're just looking for reasons to bitch. And that's okay. I mean, that's just the world that we live in. But there was this theme, and I've heard this the last couple of days. Whenever I hear a theme, when I hear callers say the same thing, I know what's going on. It means that right wing media, especially right wing conservative social media, is spreading false information. When a bunch of people start calling up and they're kind of parroting the same thing, I know that there's like a new line out there. So there's a new line out there. The new line is that illegals are coming across the border and they're infecting America. I wanted to say this so badly on the air, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't because it's, broadcast radio, but I can say it here. Illegals may be coming across the border, and some of them may be COVID positive. But this business about 50% of the illegal immigrants coming across the border are infected with COVID is total bullshit. It is bullshit. And yet there are people who are so into believing this and they're spreading the bullshit around from one person to another. It's bullshit. I mean, a guy called today and he said, Scoot, we've got all these illegals coming across the border and they're bringing COVID into America and they're infecting the country. And the problem is they're not testing them. Okay, so I said, if they're not testing them, how in the fuck do you know that they're COVID positive? The guy didn't know what to say. I mumbled something. All right, so I did a little research and it didn't take much to find information about this claim. Again, this is the buzz of right wing social media and maybe even right wing media for that matter. But it's not true. But it's being spread like it's based on real information. So the belief is that 50% of those coming across the border are COVID positive. This claim comes from the National Sheriff's Association. It is believed that about 50% of the undocumented immigrants are infected with COVID. All right. I've got two different sources. I've got Reuters fact check, and I've got fact check by a WUSA TV station. And both of these indicate that it's false, which is another word for bullshit. In fact, FEMA is estimating that the positivity rate of illegals coming across the border is less than 6%. So what does that make this 50% claim of illegals being infected? What does it make it? Bullshit. In fact, in border states, this comes from Johns Hopkins University, and they're really on top of all these stats. Border states, the positivity percentage in Arizona is 2.7%. In California, 1.9%. In New Mexico, 2.1%. In Texas, 7.2%. Where the shit did this 50% come from? It came from this National Sheriff's Association, speculating that somewhere between 5 and 50% of the illegals might be infected. somewhere between 5 and 50% might be infected. And so some bonehead takes this information and says, you see, 50% of the people coming across the border are COVID positive. We have to call out this stuff. We have to, because there's so much misinformation. Look, man, look, I'm an independent. I'm a radical moderate. I'm not beholden to either party. And I know there's bullshit on the left as well. But let's just focus on this right now. And that's a hard thing for people to do because they want to distract from, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Screw all of that. We're talking about this right here and now. And this buzz that 50% of the illegal immigrants are COVID positive is bogus. And that's really a nice way to put it. I'm going to repeat, FEMA thinks it's more like 6%. Look, illegals should not be coming across the border. Illegals should not be just released into society, period. And they shouldn't be released into society if they're COVID positive. But we don't know. We should know. It would be nice to know. In fact, the ones that are testing positive for COVID, they're put in quarantine, which makes this whole buzz about 50% of the immigrants COVID positive. What does it make it? Come on, say it with me. Bullshit. God, it felt so good to say that. And then we've got people sending us links on Rumble. It's a social media platform. It's a platform where conspiracy theorists can go and just put up any shit. And they're not checked. And that's what created this. Because the responsible social media platforms are trying to check the bullshit. And so that gives way to this Rumble platform. So people are sending links to Rumble. Well, you see, here's the information. It's bullshit. This is really a very interesting moment in the history of this country. I don't ever remember a time, and I have been in radio for 50 years. I don't remember a time when people were so willing to believe bullshit because it supported their narrative. We ought to be able to disagree. You and I can disagree. We can passionately disagree on issues. But damn it, we've got to get the facts straight. And accepting misinformation and untruths just because it conveniently supports a narrative, this is a threat to our democracy. And by the way, I talk a lot on the show about getting vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated. Hey, doesn't mean I'm not going to get COVID because we've learned that there are some breakthrough cases. But if I do get it, chances are I'm not going to die. The people who are dying, the people who are really sick, are the unvaccinated. That's not my opinion. That is a fact. But that's a fact that is conveniently missed by people who don't want that to be a fact. So the good news is that we are seeing a significant increase in the number of people getting vaccinated. That is good. And you know, if you were dead set against the vaccine, if that was part of your political ideology, if that was part of how you define yourself, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to get new information and go, wait a minute, maybe this is more serious than I thought. And I've said this before. It seems like there are people who are afraid to change their mind about something like the vaccine because it somehow makes them feel like they're losing part of their political soul. They're giving up their identity. That also is bullshit. You know, we always adjust based on new information. One guy called the show with this unrealistic expectation of, well, when are they going to know everything? I mean, they told us this in the past and they tell us this now. When are they going to know everything? Dude, do you know anything about science? They're not going to ever know everything. And there's always going to be new information that's coming out. And so we take that new information and we reassess what we know. And there were things that we knew in the beginning that turned out to be not true. But just because something changes doesn't mean that it's not credible. It means that new information has come in from something that is like a virus that is spreading. I mean, this is not something that is done by a robot. It's not done by a computer. It's not everything is not. This is just life. And so we may not know everything. We may never know everything about it. So my God, man, just relax and, don't be so simplistic that you're confused because the message changes. Of course the message changes. The metaphor for this is the quarterback goes to the line of scrimmage. He sees a different defense. He calls an audible. That's what this is about. If you haven't been vaccinated, it really is a good idea to get vaccinated. It doesn't change who you are. And again, I'm going to say this once again. This buzz going around that 50% of the illegals are COVID positive is bullshit. Thank you for joining me on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. I hope you subscribe. It's free. We'll give you a notice every time we do something new. A lot of interesting things. I cover a lot of different things on this channel. We're just building it, so you're part of the beginning. Thank you for spending time with me here, and please share it with your friends. And if there's people you don't like, share it with them. And if you totally disagree with what I say, spread the word. Send it to your friends. Maybe they'll disagree too. And you can comment. I try to comment on all of your comments. I can't do it right away. I don't always get to it right away, but I do comment on your comments. So thank you for being with me. Join me on my radio show on WWL. It is a talk show. It's where politics and pop culture meet your opinions in the afternoon, 1 to 4 Central Time. And download the app Odyssey, Audacy. You can stream our show from anywhere.